Welcome, everybody. Today is the 75th class, so it is very auspicious. We just chanted the 11th chapter, the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, in all its glory with the Trishtup meters. So we just finished chanting, and now we will continue from the 12th shloka of the 17th chapter. As I had mentioned before, the 17th chapter is a slight deviation from the previous chapters. That is, 13, 14, and 15 focused exclusively. It's content right from the Upanishads. Krishna just copies left, right, center. And the content is Jnana Yoga, the knowledge of your true nature. So the entire Gita is a book on Atma Vidya, that is the knowledge of Atma, the self, who you are. And the main takeaway is you are not the body and you are also not the mind. There is something which witnesses the mind. In meditation, if you see, there is a witnesser, there is an observer to the mind, to the thoughts. That is the real you. Okay. But in this chapter, there's a slight deviation. It talks about values. This is the Veda Purva Bhaga, the beginning portion of the Vedas, which talks about all these virtues one needs to inculcate to purify the mind. So that is the difference between the Veda Purva and the Veda Anta. Veda Anta is the Upanishads, which contains only about the knowledge of the self. As usual, we'd like to acknowledge Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati for the traditional rendering of Vedanta as it was done for over 1,000 years, starting with Adi Shankaracharya. And we'll say a small prayer. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Sada Shiva Samarampam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Partyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Salutations to the lineage starting with Lord Sadashiva, with Adi Shankaracharya in the middle, and continuing up to our immediate teacher, Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati. So with that, we will go to where we left off. So if you remember, in this chapter, Arjuna asks about faith. What does the faith means? What you worship, your faith, when they say, what's your faith? Christian faith, Muslim faith, like that. So faith means Shraddha. Shraddha, what do you worship with great reverence? So Arjuna's question is, what are the three kinds of, what about people who have not read the scriptures, but they're very devoted? What is their faith? Is it sattvic faith that is pure, or is it rajasic, bemuddled with passion, or is it tamasic, dull and ignorant? So this is Arjuna's question, and Bhagavan starts by answering Arjuna's question on the three types of faith. But Bhagavan doesn't leave it at like that. He voluntarily offers a few topics to Arjuna. That is, topics on food, yajna. So faith and worship are same, but here worship in the context of yajna. Remember, in those days they did a lot of yajnas. Yajnas means they do pujas, like a big sacrifice before the altar. They pour ghee into the fire and chant mantras for the well-being or for a certain cause. And at the end, they donate food, charity, all that. So it is asking the gods or the forces of nature for some benefits. At the same time, they're also providing. So it is mutual. So that is yajna. And then discipline, austerity, tapas, and charity, dana. Ahara, yajna, tapa, dana. Okay. And Bhagavan is right now talking about that. And he has already talked about the three types of faith. And Bhagavan, first, he talks about the what people worship. So sattvic people worship the devas, rajasic people worship rakshasas, yakshas, demons, and the tamasic people worship even worse, ghosts and hosts of nature spirits. And then Bhagavan talks about object of so we covered object of worship in the fourth shloka. Then Bhagavan talks about mode of worship, how the puja is performed, and motive. And then he talks about those people who torture themselves, and they not only torture themselves, but they torture me who lives in them, Bhagavan says. And he says that the motive is hypocrisy and egoism, impelled by the forces of lust. So the mode of worship by torture, and motive of worship, motive is hypocrisy and egoism. So this is covered, right? And then he goes, we saw food, and Bhagavan has covered food, Harati, Chatushtayam, and then we covered until here. So yajna, then Bhagavan talks that yajna which is worshipped without desiring fruits, rewards, according to scriptural injunctions for its own sake, wholeheartedly, is called sattvic yajna. Yajna means, again, it is puja, doing worship, for asking for sometimes not asking for anything, sometimes it's just to bless the world, but it's always mutual, it's with a bigger cause in mind, and you also donate. Okay, that is yajna. Yaj is from the root worship. Then continuing, abhisandhaya tu palam dham partamapi chaivayat yijyate parata shreshta tam yajnam vitti rajasam. So Bhagavan has talked about sattvic yajna previously, which is offered without desiring fruits, according to scriptural injunctions, wholeheartedly, for its own sake, not some other motive. That is sattvic. Now he comes to tamasic. He says, Bharata Shrestha. He calls Arjuna the best among the Bharatas. Bharatas are a dynasty, those who descended from King Bharata. They're all Bharata. So one who has descended from Bharata is called Bharata. That's why India is called Bharat. So people, they've descended from this king long ago, a lot of them. So Bhagavan says, Vidhi. So it's all reverse. So know, O Arjuna, know that tam yajnam, that yajna, yat ijjate, so which is offered, yat ijjate, know that yajna which is offered, what? Abhisandaya tu phalam. So abhisandaya means seeking for. Abhisandaya to phalam, seeking for fruits of the, or the rewards. Then dhamba artham, and for artham means for the purpose. So, and for ostentation, dhamba, like ego, show, pomp, ostentation, apichaivayat, and also ostentation, know that yajna to be rajasic in nature. Okay, clear? So it is for seeking reward, selfish, and ostentation. So Swamiji will always say, Rajasic yajna consists of all sakama bhakti karmani. Sakama bhakti means selfish bhakti. It's still, there's, you give some things, you distribute wealth, but the purpose of distributing wealth is to get fame. So I will distribute more wealth. I will give more in charity, so I become famous. My name is inscribed in the Hall of Fame. This building is named after me because I've given charity. That is sakama bhakti. You still worship, but it is with selfish. Sakama means desiring fruits, and it's selfish. So give-oriented karmas is sattvic. Get-oriented karma is rajasic. Swamiji very simply says that. So phalam abhisandaya means external benefits, gross benefits, tangible benefits like name, fame, money, status. So the intangible benefits are what the sattvic yajna seeks after, which is peace of mind, moksha, like that. Okay, let's move on. Vidihinam mantrahinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate. Parichakshate means they declare. They declare what? As tamasic. Tamasam tat. That yajna, that is tat is implied here for the sake of the meter. They don't add that. They declare that yajna to be tamasic, yajnam, tamasam, Parichakshase means they declare that, which is vidihinam. Vidhi, what vidhi means? Injunction. What injunction? Shastra vidihinam. Shastra is implied here. That which is not in accordance with the scriptural injunctions. So hinam means not in accordance with the scriptural injunctions. Asrishta annam, in which no food is distributed. Mantrahinam, which is devoid of mantras. Okay. And Shraddha virahitam, which means devoid of faith, completely bereft of faith. Okay. Then Dakshinam, Shraddha virahitam. Yeah. Devoid. Okay. Mantrahinam and adakshinam. Dakshinam means donations, in which for the priests, so you, instead of giving the priest what is owed, you kind of give a very token amount. In those days, priests, they just take what is offered and they don't negotiate prices. So instead of giving them the right amount, you give them a petty amount because it's a donation. So that is called adakshinam. It's not proper. Shraddha virahitam, which is devoid of, completely bereft of faith. So rahita means devoid of. Virahita means totally. So vi is a special qualifier. Vi can also mean not. We can also mean special. Videha, bhava pratyayo, videha prakritilayanam. In the Yoga Sutras it comes, right? Bhava pratyayo, videha means they're special, very special body. Videha. So here virahitam means vi is a qualifier. Namaste, Jayalakshmi ji. Good to see you. So, and completely bereft of faith. So that is the kind of yajna this is. So some people, Swamiji quotes a joke. So in the Vishnu Sahasranama, there's called a Eka Shloka. So in all this, there's something, a shloka which is so powerful that it's called a Eka Shloka. That just chanting that is equivalent to chanting the entire Vishnu Sahasranama. And it goes as Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. What is it? It's a beautiful shloka. It's chanted 3 times. What does it mean? That it means that 3 times you chant Rama and it's equal to Vishnu Sahasranam. And so people take the shortcut. They will just say, okay, I don't want to chant the whole thing. I'll just chant Rama, 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 and I'll run away. So Shastras, Swamiji says, Shastra is very considerate, but we should not abuse the option given in Shastra. So this is when you are very sick, you can't do anything, then you take this because you're putting in the effort, but it doesn't mean you have to take the shortcut right away. So Shraddha is one of the Maha Pancha Yajna. That is, there are 5 yajnas which are considered Maha Yajnas, and Shraddha is one of them. So that's why this entire chapter, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, and it's meant for Chitta Shuddhi. This Shraddha, it is for purification of the mind. One should have Shraddha. If that Shraddha is not there, then the yajna won't be pure. Whatever worship you do, it won't be pure. That's why ritual itself is called Shraddham. Shraddhaya Kritam Shraddham. It means I do it with full devotion, full belief. It benefits spiritually. Swamiji says, full stop. There's nothing more needed to explain. So Shraddha is needed for a proper yajna in order for it to be sattvic. Otherwise, you'll take shortcuts. Then Bhagavan comes to the 3rd topic. These are all voluntary topics Bhagavan is discussing. Tapaha, discipline, austerity. So far we've seen Bhagavan has been classifying everything in what 3 formats? Anybody wants to say? What are the 3 formats in which Bhagavan is classifying everything? According to what? Anybody? Anuji, Lakshmi ji, Georgia. Take a guess. Anybody? Tataji, Ravi?
The gunas?
Yes, very good, very good. So, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So far, that's how he's been classifying based on gunas. Guna can be sattvic guna, rajasic, and tamasic. Now, um, Bhagavan is classifying Shraddha in two different ways. Gunas, he does. Then Karana Drishtya Trividam Tapaha, based on the instruments or organs used for tapas. Kaikam, using kaya means body, using the body. Vachikam, vacha means speech or lack of speech. This Mauna Vratam, that is tapas. Manasam, using the mind and directed thoughts. This is mentally repeating the Gayatri mantra. That is Manasam. So Kaikam, Vachikam, and Manasam. Tapas means austerity. In the previous cases, Ahara, Shadra, Agnya, they were all divided based on gunas. Now, Krishna is going to divide based on two different norms. So first, we'll see the first one. Kaikam, Vachikam, and Manasam. Body, Kaikam. So, Deva देवद्विजगुरु प्राज्ञः पूजनं शौचम् आर्चवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते. Worship of the gods, Deva, Dvija, the twice born, the Brahmins, Guru, teachers, Prajnaha, the wise people, then Shaucham, purity of the mind and the body, Arjavam, straightforwardness, Brahmacharyam, chastity, Ahimsa, chastity, and it's in related to sexual activity, Ahimsa, non-violence, Shariram Tapa Uchate. Uchate means said to be Shariram Tapa, that is austerity of the body, physical austerity or Kaikam Tapa. Here, the yoga asanas come under tapas. So, Patabi Joyce would say this. Why do yoga asanas? Because the greatest enemy of a body is laziness, he'll say. Alasya hi manushyanam sharirastu mahan ripuhu. Alasya is laziness. Manushyanam sharirastu. For the human's body, it doesn't say manushyanam, it says for the manushyanam sharirastu. That is for the human being's body. Mahan ripuhu, greatest enemy, ripuhu is enemy. Then the second type, Vachikam. Okay. Anudvegakaram patyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayapyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram, that speech which does not cause excitement. Okay. Anudvegakaram. So that is vegam. It's like a speed. It causes excitement, a churn. So Anudvegakaram means that which does not cause excitement. Anudvegakaram vakyam. That speech which does not cause excitement. Vakyam is speech. Satyam is truthful. Okay. Satyam, truthful. Priyam, pleasant. Hitam, suitable or beneficial. Yat, which speech, which yat vakyam, which that speech which is all these does not cause excitement, is truthful, pleasant, and beneficial. Then swadhyaya abhyasanam. Swadhyaya abhyasanam. So abhyasa means practice. Swadhyaya abhyasanam means involving regular recitation of the scriptures, chaiva, and etc. And also that Vanmayam tapa uchyate. Vanmayam, vak means speech. Vakmaya means it's speech oriented austerity, verbal austerity. Okay. Mana prasada saumyatvam maunamatma vinigraha bhava samshuddhirit yetat tapo manasam uchyate. So mana prasadaha, serenity of the mind. This is the mental austerity. So body, speech, and mind. Mana prasadaha, saumyatmam, gentle. Saumya vapur mahatma. So at the end of the 11th chapter, we just chanted, right? Arjuna finally says he's so scared of Bhagavan showing his Vishwarupa Darshana. And he says, please, I'm so scared. Show me your gentle form. I want to see the very, very gentle form. I'm just absolutely scared on seeing this gory form. So he Saumya Vapur Mahatma, that's how he uh, asks for. I'm trying to see where it is. So he says, Adrishta Purvam Shrishitosmi Drishtva Mayena Cha Pravyatitam Mano Me Tadeva Rupam Darshaya Deva Rupam Prasida Devesha Jagannivasa. So Arjuna, so scared. Finally, he asks, show me your Saumya Rupam. Saumya Rupam here means gentle form, so gentleness. So gentleness, Saumyatvam, Maunam, silence, Atma Vinigraha means self-control. Atma here just means self, body, mind, everything, self-complex. Atma, as I said, it means self, can be the observer, the drashta, that is the consciousness, or it can mean the mind. It can mean the mind-body complex. Here, it's just the full person. And bhava samshuddhihi. Bhava means your disposition. Samshuddhihi, purity of disposition. Etat, all these are called mental austerity. And Swamiji says this is the toughest because the physical body is the grossest instrument, and therefore physical discipline is easier because it belongs to Sthula Shariram. Vachikam is a little more difficult, the speech austerity, because Vak Indriyan is a subtle organ. It is not the mouth and the tongue, it is the perception, that which kind of sense the signal. So that is in the subtle body. Okay, it's a subtle part of the mind. It is little difficult, and more difficult is mental austerity. Okay, so we covered the first mode of classification, Kaikam, Vachikam, Manasam. Now Bhagavan again classifies based on gunas. What does he say? Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapas Tatrividam naraihi apalakankshibiryuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. So that threefold austerity, Shraddhaya, Paraya, Taptam, Tapas, Tat, Trividam Narai, that threefold austerity that is practiced by steadfast people, Shraddhaya, with a lot of faith, Shraddhaya Paraya, with the highest faith, Taptam, Tapas Taptam, that austerity, which is Taptam means, which is austered. So I'm just using the word practiced. Tapas Taptam, that which is practiced by the steadfast people, Apala Kankshibir, with highest faith and without desire for results. Pala Kankshi. Kankshi means to crave, to desire. For palam means fruits. Pala Kankshibir means without desire for the fruits or the results. Okay. So yuktaihi. So this is the word by steadfast. Yuktaihi narai. For the sake of the meter, it is split. Tat trividam narai apala kankshibir yuktaihi. So it should come as trividam yuktai narai. So that steadfast people. Yuktai means yoked. Comes yoga. Everything comes from the same root. Satvikam parichakshate. Again, parichakshate means that they declare to be satvik. So this threefold. This practice is not for the sake of others, not because of pressure from the scriptures, but because somebody is putting pressure, but it's done with full faith, without desire for any results. Okay. Satkaramana pujartam tapodhambena chaiva yat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadrupam. Satkaram, that which is done for yat tapaha. So the way to read it is yat tapaha, that austerity, kriyate means which is done for satkaram. Satkaram means for respect, for gaining. Gaining is implied. So for gaining respect. Manaha, honor, for gaining honor. That pujartam, honor, worship, so people can worship you. Dhambena, and how is it done? So this is the purpose. Satkaram, for gaining respect, honor, worship. Okay, understood? And how is it done? It is done with dhambena. Dhambena means with ostentation. Damba, with ego, ostentation. Tat iha proktam rajasam. That is called rajasam. In this context, it is said to be proktam, means it is said to be rajasam. And what is this kind of practice? It is chalam adruvam. Achalam means unshakable. Chalam means it's very shaky. It's not on good foundation. And adruvam. Dhruvam means full, permanent. Adruvam means not permanent. So it is, you always heard the word achalam dhruvam, achalam dhruvam. Now you hear the word chalam adruvam. So it is shaky, unstable, and it is transitory. Is it clear? So that austerity which is done for gaining respect, honor, worship, and it's done with ostentation, is said to be rajasic. It's shaky and transitory. And now comes the third one, which is the tamasic tapah. Moodagrake natmano yat pidaya kriyate tapah paras yotsadanartam va tattamasamudakritam. That tapas, which is done with foolish obstinacy, moodagrahena atmano yat. Okay, moodagrahena means yat tapaha. Similarly, here also, yat tapaha, that tapas. Moodagrahena, grah means grasping. So moodagrahena means with a foolish grip, that is with obstinacy. Understood? Mooda means foolish. Grahanam, that's why grahanam, it's like one swallowing the moon swallowing or the Rahu swallowing the sun and the moon. That's called the grahanam. It's eclipse. It's just the earth comes in between, but it looks like something is swallowing something. Grahanam is grasp, swallow something like that. Muda grahena, with a foolish grip, that's obstinacy. Atmano pidaya. Pida means torture. Atmana pidaya means torturing the atma, that is the self, that's the body and the mind. Here atma refers to body and the mind. Atmano pidaya kriyate, which is done, or parayas parasya utsadanartam. So parasyotsadanatam parasya means others. Utsadanartham means, so utsadanartham, so means for the destruction. Sadhana, so it's for the destruction of others. Utsadanartham, for the destruction of others. Tamasam udahritam is said to be tamasic in nature. It's foolish, torturing the self, and for destruction of others. Clear? So there ends the three tapas. Now the last is charity. Let's look at them. Dhatavyamiti yad danam dhiyate nupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha taddanam satvikam smritam. That charity which is given to one who may do no service in return. Um, so dhatavyam iti means with the notion that it's one's duty to give, with the notion that it's one's duty to give. Okay, dhatavyam, I have to give, I'm obliged to give. So dhatavyam iti yattanam, that charity, diyate, which is done, anupakarine, which anupakarina means to one who may not reciprocate in return. It is given to one who may do no service. You're giving something to a beggar just because the person needs it. So it's given to one who may do no service in return, with the notion that it's one's duty to give. Deshe kale cha patre cha, at the right place, time, and patre means to patra, to a worthy person, at the right place and time, and to a worthy person. If you're giving some money to somebody who you know is going to use it for getting drugs or something like that, that is not a good cause. If you know that you shouldn't give, right? So it is given to the right place, at the right place and time, to a worthy person. That is considered sattvic. So sattvic dhanam is a dhanam which looks upon dhanam as an end in itself. Therefore, the dhanam gives that person joy. Therefore, if there is acknowledgement or gratitude from others, it's just a bonus. So Swamiji here says dhanam is considered such an important virtue stressed by the scriptures. Why? Dhanam removes certain unhealthy traits in our personality. Mohaha, delusion of insecurity, thinking wealth will give security. Um, this is the greater delusion, because no objects outside is secure in itself. No object outside is, because everything outside is perishable. You think by having a big house one is secure, but it can go in an earthquake like that. So Jagat is mithya, do not rely on it. So mohaha, the delusion of insecurity, that is will go away. The more you give, you feel letting go. The more you hoard, the insecurity increases. Lobha, greed. So it's fueled by delusions. To let go of the greed, you have to give. Karpanyam, miserliness, fueled by the fear of losing. So you become so miserly. I'm not going to give anything because I'm afraid I won't have money for myself. So it removes that. So all this purify the mind of these negative tendencies, the fear, the, the fear, oh, what will happen tomorrow? All that is gone. And bhayam, fear of losing things and people. So that is why Shastra considers dhanam very important. Clear? Now, the second rajasic. Yattu pratyupakaratam palam uddishya va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasam smrutam. Tu, yattu, tu, but yat dhanam, that dhanam is not said here, but that charity, pratyupakarartham, which is done with a notion of upakarartham, means with the notion of expecting something in return or looking for the fruits. Phalam uddishya va, or va means or looking for the fruits, results. Punaha, and again. Pariklishtam, given reluctantly. Tattdanam, that charity, Rajasam Smritam, is considered as Rajasic. So klishta means distress, suffering, pain. So vrittaya panchataya klishta, klishta. In the Yoga Sutras, it comes, right? The vrittis are 5 types: klishta, aklishta, distressing, non-distressing. So here, pariklishta means kind of half-heartedly, kind of well in a distressed way. You're giving reluctantly. Okay, so that is pariklishtam. Diyate. Diyate means given, which is given. Pratyupakarartham, with the notion of expecting something. Phalam, looking for fruits. Phalam uddishya. And then pariklishtam, given reluctantly. That is rajasic tapas. So according to the Shastra, when you give dhanam, even though your material position is getting depleted, your punyam bank balance is increasing. So externally you're losing, but your punyam, that is your merit, is increasing. So that is one other reason. Adesha kale yat danam apatrebhyascha dhiyate asatkrutam abhajnatam tattamasamudakritam. So yat danam, again, yat danam, that charity, dhiyate, which is given, adesha kale, at the wrong time and place. Desha means place, kala means time. So previously in Satvik also, it's given at the right time and place. Here, adesha kale. So in the Satvik, we saw deshe kale cha patre cha. The right deshe kale means the right place. The right doesn't say sadeshe sakale. It doesn't say. Patre means the desiring person, worthy person. Here, adesha kale yattanam apatrebhyascha diyate. It is given at the wrong place and time and to unworthy people. Apatrebhyah, unworthy people. Asatkritam, without respect. Avajnatam, or with insult. That charity is considered to be tamasic. Tat tamasam udahritam. This is exactly the opposite of sattvic charity. What Krishna wants to say is sattvic dhanam is the best, rajasam is intermediary, tamasic dhanam is the lowest one. With this, all 4 topics Bhagavan has covered: ahara, food; yajna, worship or puja; tapaha, austerity; and dhanam, charity. So, and naturally, Krishna should just conclude here because he's already given a lot of extra topics, right? Arjuna only asked for Shraddha. What are the 3 types of, what kind of Shraddha does a scripturally illiterate person have? Bhagavan should just have concluded and said, Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we should be chanting. But Bhagavan introduces one more topic, and this is a very important one. So at the end of every chapter, we chant Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So like that we chant, right? Om Tat Sat. This is a very important mantra because it's a very famous mantra. It is associated with all religious activities and especially at the time of conclusion. There's the expression Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. So Swamiji says this is a very important mantra, which is why Krishna adds this. Already he has added 3 topics. Now he's adding the 4th one, which is significance of the famous mantra Om Tat Sat. Let's look at that. Om Tat Saditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanastrivida Smritaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajñāscha Vihitah Pura. Om Tat Sat iti is thus smritaha, considered. Smritaha means considered as Brahmanaha Trivida Nirdeshaha. So Brahmana Trivida Nirdeshaha as the threefold designation of Brahman. We'll see what the threefold designation of Brahman. Brahmanastena vedascha yajñascha vihita pura. Pura vihita. means they were created long ago. What was created long ago? Long ago, Brahmanas, these people, Brahmanas, those who protected and propagated the Vedas to the next generation, Brahmanas, these people, they were created, then Vedas themselves were created, and yajnas were created. So, this Brahmana is the people, not the Brahmanas of the Vedas. The Vedas also has 4 divisions: Samhitas, Brahmanas, the Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. So, it's not that Brahmana, it is just referring to the people. Now, let's look at the details. Significance of Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat is the powerful mantra made up of 3 names of God. Okay, that's why the Trivida, the threefold, triple designation, each has a meaning of Brahman. Om is one name, Tat is another name, Sat is the third name. So he will explain all this. Om means protector of the world. Tat means aprameyaha, that Brahman which is beyond. That's why you say it's Tat, which is beyond all instruments of knowledge. That Brahman is you, your nature, consciousness. Sat means the eternal principle. That is the only true reality. All the matter, they will change. The consciousness remains exactly as it is. Om Tat Sat means the eternal, incomprehensible protector of the universe. Okay, Om means the protector. The Om is derived from the root Au, Avati, Rakshayati, Palayati. So Om, Au, that root. So it means protect. Sat is the eternal principle, the one who ever exists in the form of the very existence itself. Literally, the word Sat means the existence, and by extension, it means the eternal principle, because existence exists always. Sat really means existence. That's all it means. This powerful mantra has been used by the creator Brahmaji when he undertook the job of creation. Because Brahmaji uttered this powerful mantra, it has become a convention. That's what Bhagavan is trying to say. Understood? So it's an important thing. Everybody? The highlighting the 3 aspects of Brahmaji's creation. So Bhagavan has said, in those days, long ago, Brahmaji created Yajna, Veda, and Brahmana. Why the Brahmanas, Vedas, and the Yajnas are important in all of creation? Because Yajna, that lifestyle in which humanity wisely uses or employs the superior knowledge and power for constructive purposes. So, 3rd chapter, we studied this extensively. Yajnatat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. In this world, 3.9, chapter 3, actions done for any reason other than yajna, that is sacrifice or greater good, are bound by karma. For that reason, perform actions free from attachment. Saha yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyatvam yeshavostvishta kamaduk. In the beginning, the creator, Prajapati, Brahma, having created human beings along with Yajna, said, by this Yajna may you multiply, by this Yajna may your wishes be fulfilled. So, Yajna is that lifestyle in which um, people, humanity uses superior knowledge and power for constructive purposes. Veda is important because from Veda alone we learn this way of life. There's the Veda Purva. And Brahmana, any human being who preserves and promotes the Vedic teaching. Brahmana sustains the Vedas, Veda sustains the Yajna way of life, Yajna sustains creation. Understood? Continuing. Tasmad Om Ityudahritya Yajnadhana Tapakriyaha Pravartante Vidanoktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam. Tasma, therefore, for those who are well versed with the scriptures, Brahmavadinam, Bhagavan says, Brahmavadinam, therefore, for those who are well versed with the scriptures, Yajnadana Tapakriya, acts of, so Yajnadana Tapakriya, acts of Yajna worship, dhana, charity, tapa, austerity, kriyaha means as acts as enjoined in the scriptures, vidana uktaha. Vidana uktaha means as enjoined. Vidhi is this is injunction. Vidana uktaha as enjoined by the scriptures. Pravartante, so they begin after sat pravartante vidanoktah satatam brahmavadinam. So begin after the utterance of Om. Therefore, for those who are well versed with the scriptures, acts of yajna, dana, tapa, as enjoined by scriptures, begin after the utterance of Om. So all that's why we chant Om before even we do our asana practice, right? So Om is auspicious. So it is chanted before doing any task, any um, um, task which you consider holy. So tapaha, yoga asana is kahikam tapaha, body tapas. So you chant Om and then you do it. Brahmaji initiated this tradition. It's what tradition? Utterance of Om Tat Sat. Like the hello, when you see somebody, you say hello, like that. It's a tradition, right? So like that, Om Tat Sat is the tradition, Swamiji says. Tadityana Nabisandhaya palam yajnastapakriyaah dana kriyascha vividaah kriyante moksha kankshibhihi. After uttering tat, tat iti, tat iti means after uttering is kind of implied, tat iti, after tat, after uttering tat, anabhisandaya, so or before that, vivida yajna tapa kriya, various vivida yajna tapa kriya, various activities in the form of yajna, worship, dana, and tapa. Kriyante, kriyante means are performed, kriyante are performed by the seekers of liberation without expecting truth. Anabhisandaya means by those who without expect, those who do things without expecting results, and also by moksha kankshibhihi. So it's to fit the meter, all the words are scattered everywhere, and that is fine because it has to rhyme. So after uttering tat, various activities in the form of yajna, worship, dana, charity, and tapa, austerity, are performed by the seekers of liberation without expecting results. So here, moksha kankshibhihi, some spiritual seekers use the mantra tat only. As I said, all the three words can be used, or you can use any of the three words too. So you can just say Om, previous Om was highlighted. In this shloka, tat is highlighted. Nowadays, we do not choose anyone. We people generally chant Om Tat Sat, everything together. So some spiritual seekers use the name Tat in the Lord, in Vishnu Sahasranam also. Tasmai Nama, Yasmai Nama, all these come, which means what the Lord who is that, means the Lord who is that. Okay, now Sadbhave sadubhave cha sadityetat prayuchyate prashaste karmani tata sachapta partayuchyate yajne tapasi dhane cha stitis satiti chochyate karma chaiva tadartiyam sadityeva vidhiyate. So these two are done together there because it's one full continuation. Now he talks about sat. Sadbhave sadubhave. So the word sat is thus used in the sense of existence and goodness. Further, the word tat is used in the sense of auspicious acts. Okay. Ye etad, etad, sat iti. Thus the word sat. Prayuchyate means it's used satbhave in the sense of existence. Sadhu bhave. Sadhu means good. Sadhus are people, good people. Okay. Sadhu bhave in the sense of goodness. It is used in the sense of existence and in the sense of goodness. Tataha, tatha, further, sat shabda, the sound sat shabda becomes sat shabda. The further, the sound sat is used in the yujyate is used in the sense of precious, auspicious and auspicious acts. Precious karmani, auspicious acts. For the sound, tat is used in the sense of auspicious acts. So now Krishna comes to the word sat. Suddenly Krishna remembers, oh, I have introduced the word, but I have not given the meaning of the three words. Only Swamiji says, only Swamiji can give the meaning before Krishna. Now suddenly he remembers, okay, now I have to give the meaning. He did not give the meaning of tat. He might have forgotten, or Swamiji says Vyatacharya probably didn't know. So Krishna gives the meaning of the word sat, and I gave you the and Krishna gives 5 meanings for the word sat. Compensation for leaving the 2 other words. So he doesn't talk about om and sat. So Swamiji comes to our rescue, or Shankaracharya comes to our rescue and gives it. But Krishna, for not having said the meaning of sat, om and sat, he gives compensates by giving different meanings for the word sat. And that's what he's doing in this shloka and in the next. So he is giving 3 meanings here. Sat is used in the sense of existence, goodness, and auspicious acts. Now we will see the other one. Yajne tapasi dhane cha sthiti sat iti chochate karma chaiva tadartiyam sadityeva vidhiyate. Okay, the 4th and the 5th meaning of the word sat. So om tat sat. These are the 3. This is three sacred words. Om and so, for example, om here doesn't give the meaning. Om, those who are doing scriptures, they just begin everything after the utterance of om. That's all he says. He doesn't give the meaning. And here tat, after uttering tat, they do all this. Who does that? Seekers of liberation. But now for sat, he says, sat is used in the sense of existence. Its meaning is existence. Its meaning is goodness. It's used in auspicious. It's used in the sense of auspicious acts. So he gives meaning. 3 meanings he gives for tat. Now he's going to give 2 more meanings. Steadfastness in the performance of yajna tapasi dane cha sthiti. Steadfastness in the performance of yajna, austerity, and charity. Yajna, tapas, dana. Okay, is also termed as sat. Iti cha uchyate is also termed as sat. Steadfastness in the performance of yajna, austerity, and charity is also called sat. Karma chaiva tadartiyam, also action for the sake of Brahman. Karma chaiva tadartiyam, action for its own sake. Tat artiyam, for its own sake. Karma tadartiyam, for its own sake. That is the sake of Brahman. Sake, tad artiyam, sorry. Tad artiyam means for that sake, for the sake of that. That refers to Brahman. Karma tadartiyam, for the sake of that. Artha is for the purpose, sake. Karma for that purpose, for Brahman, is also called sat. So 5 meanings. Okay. Now coming to the last shloka. Ashraddaya krutam tattam tapastaptam krutam cha yat asatyuchyate partha na cha tat pretya no iha. Last shloka in this chapter. Whatever is offered as oblation given as charity and performed as austerity without faith. Ashraddaya, without faith, is said to be asat. It fructifies neither here nor hereafter. So this chapter is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So Bhagavan is concluding whatever you try to do without faith is not going to fructify in this lifetime or in other lifetimes. Pretya uh, cha iti uchate partha nacha tat pretya no iha ihas. Here, pretya means hereafter. So not here and not hereafter. So in the 28th verse, Bhagavan wants to conclude, and in this conclusion, he wants to remind the beginning of the 17th chapter, which we might have forgotten, because Bhagavan keeps adding extra things, right? And what is the purpose of this chapter? Arjuna's question. What is the faith of that person? What kind of faith is that person who's illiterate in the scriptures but is so devoted? So, Shraddha. What is the Shraddha of the person? So, therefore, Krishna reminds us of Shraddha also here. He says, Ashraddha Hutam, any spiritual activity, religious activity without Ashraddha Hutam, which is offered as oblation, Dattam given as charity, Taptam performed as austerity, without Ashraddhaya, without faith, Asat iti uchyate, it is said to be Asat. It is pretty, basically, he says pretty useless. Without sincerity, Hutam. Hutam means anything that is offered as an oblation. It's like they pour oblation into the fire. Um, any oblation made without Shraddha, any datam, any charity made without Shraddha, without sincerity, and any austerity that's practiced, taptam, any austerity that is practiced without Shraddha, it does not fructify. So that ends the 17th chapter on Shraddha, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Saptadashodhyaya.